Well, hello, my name's Kelly, welcome back to my channel. This is a slightly different video from my usual because it's kind of a declaration of intent, and I want someone out there to hold me to this, and I want some accountability because I have put this off for literally years. As some of you will know if you watched my Booktubeathon 2014 videos, as part of the challenge read a book from the genre you've read least this year, I read this non-fiction collection of essays called Stop What You're Doing and Read This by various authors. And even though it's only 180 pages, I kind of struggled with this, not in the sense that the content was complex, although the last essay was a little bit complicated, but because I realised I've become very lazy from reading constantly within my comfort zone genre of YA fiction. And, you know, I think when you read within the same genre all the time, you become quite lazy, you become very adept at, you know, anticipating the common denominators of that genre, you know, the cliches that we find in it, and there's kind of this sort of set parameter that defines books within that genre, and when you know it well enough, you don't have to concentrate so much, you can feel it coming a mile off, and it makes for some lazy reading, is what I'm trying to say. Reading this, I had to really concentrate, I had to be present, I had to be in the moment of reading this book. I couldn't speed through it, as is the temptation for anyone with an epic TBR. And I felt like a real sense of accomplishment when I finished this book because it sort of changed my thinking on a few things. It made me think of some new things, and it gave me a couple of book ideas for other books that I wanted to read. One of them being The Interrogative Mood by Paget Powell, which is a book told entirely in questions. And because we would all have different answers to those questions that we would think as we read the questions, it becomes a different book, whoever's reading it. Anyway, I thought that was a very interesting idea. And these essays are all about books and reading, and I appreciated how much it made me think, and I don't think that fiction really makes you think so much. So that was one of the nice things about this non-fiction one. However, my heart still lies with fiction. So I'm not saying I want to read more non-fiction. Put that over there. It fell on the floor. I have to check on it. It's okay. So I'm not saying I want to read more non-fiction, but I do want to read more books with a view to, God, this sounds really pompous, with a view to self-improvement, like adding to myself. For that I need to read some more taxing books. And that made me remember, I'm finally getting to the crux of the matter, that made me remember something called the BBC's Big Read. And if you're from the UK, you may remember that in 2003, so a bloody long time ago now, the BBC did the Big Read, which was basically this campaign to collect the top 100 best loved books within Britain, although they weren't all British books. I mean, Catcher in the Rye is in this, although I don't know why, because I hate it. Captain Corelli's Mandolin is in this. So it's a worldwide collection of books, but beloved by British readers in particular. Anyway, God. At the time, I was really addicted to this program, and I went straight out and I bought this book tie-in, and I also went straight out and I bought these spot stickers so that I could go through the list of the books at the back here and mark all the ones that I had read. And I was able to mark off a huge section here because the first 4 Harry Potters are in it, and they'd probably all be in it if it wasn't for the fact that only 4 had been released when this campaign happened. Anyway, I think I've only read about 24 of them, and considering that these are, you know, among the most famous books in the whole world, like books like Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Why haven't I read that yet? The Secret Garden. I have not read The Secret Garden. I loved that film as a kid, so I need to read this. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I own that somewhere too, but I haven't read it. War and Peace by Tolstoy. Not looking forward to that one. But there has to be a reason that these books are so beloved, and I'm hoping it's not simply that, like War and Peace, they are ridiculously long. I think Ulysses is in here as well. Anyway, I am determined anew, I am redetermined to finish reading all 100 books on this list, and I've linked the link. I've put the link to the page on my blog that has the full list of these books, and throughout the years, because this is going to be a long-term project, because I still want to read my YA fiction, because that's where my heart is, I'm going to be going back to that list and crossing out the ones that I've read, and hopefully one day I'll have finished all 100 of them. But I'm only aiming maybe this year to read 3 if I can, because the year is mostly over, and then with each full year I would like to read 5 from this book. And for books like Tolstoy's War and Peace and possibly Salman Rushdie's Midnight's Children, I am going to allow myself to use audiobooks, although I usually find those a bit more laborious than actually reading the book, so who knows, I don't know yet. But this is my statement of intent. And like, not all the books are scary. Mort by Terry Pratchett, I've had this little one for ages and I still haven't read it. So what I have to be careful of though is not reading all the books, all the easy books first, so that I have all the awful hard going ones at the end. I've already obviously read the Harry Potter ones. And I have already read the full His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman, but I would like to reread it because it's so good. And The Count of Monte Cristo's on there as well. I've always wanted to read this because revenge stories are, oh God, I love revenge stories in a way that is slightly worrying for anyone who knows me and might wrong me one day. So, yes, was I going to say anything else? I've contributed nothing to your life, but hopefully mine will be enriched by reading all of these, and this is my promise to do that eventually. Thanks for watching, guys, and this is probably the last video I'm going to film in Spain. I'm off to Thailand on Monday. Oh, actually, there is another video I'd like to film, but I don't know if I'll get to do it. That's why there's no books here. I've packed everything away. And now that I've filmed this one, I can pack these books away. Hurrah! I'm just gonna go now. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have a lovely day. Bye!